We have reached the first fix carpentry section. Here you can choose which floors require what types of flooring. Click the image and the program shows the 2 masonry floor types required for the job with the measurements. I need to choose which of these floors will need flooring, so I'll choose both of them to have a finished floor. I select the type of flooring here. Easy Price Pro has worked out the insulation, polythene, cramps, glue, and so on. I'll require flooring to the joist floor, which for this job is the upper floor, so I'll tick this. It shows the measurements here for this floor. I'll click on this to choose the flooring for it. I'll enter 1 tank stand here, and everything's worked out for this based on the criteria in these graphics. Here we enter the information for the internal studwork walls. I will enter a total of 31 linear metres for these and a height of 2.35. None of the partition walls need to be braced, so I will leave this blank. I enter the numbers of corners and T-sections required. It then calculates how many studs are needed. I'll enter 2 bottom plates, 1 top plate, and 1 row of centre noggins. Again, you can click the question mark icons for further explanations. If you have some sections of studwork that are a different height or have other options, you can enter these. But for this house, all the studwork is the same. It has worked out the timber required for the studs here, based on what I have entered and the materials I've selected. The plasterboard is all worked out based on 1 layer on each side of the studwork walls. You can add more layers here. Some of the walls may not need plasterboard on both sides, so you can deduct these. The house will have 7 door linings in the studwork walls. We don't require any double door linings. The number of door linings in masonry walls is already filled in, because the program cleverly remembers this from the number of lintels we entered earlier. There will be 1 staircase. Don't forget, you can change any prices in the library, which will then change all future estimates. Or if it's just a different price for this particular job, just type over the green cell here. You can select the type of ceiling for each section of the house so that the program can calculate the amount of ceiling area there is to be plasterboarded, plastered, and decorated. For example, you may have a vaulted ceiling, which would require more materials than a standard flat ceiling. This shows what roof types I have for the 4 sections of roof in the house I'm pricing. I'll just choose the standard ceiling first for the main section of roof, which is the hip both ends. I'll also choose this type of ceiling for the porch. For the lean-to section, it will be a vaulted ceiling, and the hip and valley section will have a raised tie ceiling. It asks me for the height I want the ceiling raised to, so I'll enter 1 metre. It has now worked out the measurements for the ceiling types I have chosen. If we had plastic windows and required dummy frames, the calculations for those would be here. Like in the roof structure section further up, you can click to view things for the first fix section carpentry. Again, graphical explanations with options to change the defaults are available by clicking on these question mark icons.